Hello everyone, it's Desiree from healthquickie.com. I'm trying out some new software here from my computer. It's called BeLive TV, and I'm going to broadcast from two places at once and see how that goes. So I'm just going to reiterate what we said. Today we are doing a live broadcast on how to make your own nut milk. It's so simple. Everyone should be doing it. It really doesn't take much time. And the reason you would want to make your own nut milk in the first place is because it's an alternative to dairy. So lots of people have lactose intolerance and dairy intolerance, especially people with digestive issues, unable to sort of digest and break down that lactose, having diarrhea, running to the bathroom, gas, bloating, all sorts of indigestion and digestion problems because they're not able to break down that dairy. So I know many people who can't tolerate cheese, for example, lots of digestive problems after that, after consuming it. Also, if you suffer from any mucousy conditions, phlegm, asthma, any respiratory issues that involve a lot of mucus and phlegm, dairy is going to increase that mucus production, so you want to get it out of your diet. The next thing, many children are also not able to tolerate this dairy. Also, the way that our dairy is produced and manufactured, so a lot of the dairy contains hormones and antibiotics. And of course, you know, farmers need to sort of, or the dairy industry needs to sort of control the cattle population because of disease running rampant amongst the cows. So it kind of makes sense that they have to do that, considering, you know, factory farming, but it's not good for us, the end product at the end. Also, dairy cattle are consuming a lot of inflammatory feed and grains. So if you do drink milk, you sort of want to get a raw milk from a cow that's been grazing in the field and eating a lot of greens, because the greens are rich in omega-3 essential fatty acids, and we intake that from the consumption of that milk. But factory farmed animals are usually consuming a lot of grain, and of course they're consuming a lot of cheap grain. So corn, soya, wheat, anything like that, all the genetically modified grains, that's what's being fed to the cattle feed, okay? So a few different reasons why you would want to go for an alternative nut milk. Now, if you take a store-bought nut milk and you compare it to a container, a carton of actual milk, you'll see that often the nutrient values are equivalent. So you'll see that the mineral values are equivalent. Calcium in there, and also the boxed milks are actually fortified usually with different synthetic vitamins. And as I was saying before, the boxed milks will usually have a sort of long list of ingredients that you don't really want when you're making your own nut milk, including the carrageenan, which is like a thickener, lots of fillers and things like that that you don't want in your nut milk. When you make your own, you really know what's in your nut milk and you can control the amount of ingredients. What's beautiful about this is that you can make different flavors of nut milk. So you can make like a chai nut milk, a chocolate milk if your kids like chocolate, by adding raw cacao and some maple syrup or some honey, anything like that. So I'm gonna make the, should I make the hard one first or the easy one first? Come on guys, give me some comments. I wanna know that you're here listening, watching, that you wanna learn. Come on guys, show me what you want. Okay, let's do the hard one first, okay? It's not really hard, it's just like one extra step. All right, so what you wanna do, I've seen different ratios out there before. My ratio that I like to do is 1 cup of nut or seed per 4 cups of liquid, okay? If you want like a skim milk, you want to have more liquid. If you want a thicker, like a homogenized milk, let's say, you want to have less water, higher ratio of nuts per water. So what I have here is 1 cup of raw almonds. So unroasted, unsalted, you just want the raw almonds. They have been soaking overnight in my fridge in a jar in some filtered water, and I've rinsed off that water. You never want to use that water. Reason being is that these little cute little packaged nuts, it's a little package of goodness and protein and great fats and fiber. So this little guy in nature wants to protect himself. So what he does is he sort of coats himself with these enzymes and protective mechanisms and protective layers because he doesn't want to be eaten in nature. He doesn't want to get eaten. He wants to protect himself. But these enzyme inhibitors in our bodies actually inhibit our digestive enzymes from coming in and breaking down the actual almond. So what we want to do is rinse away these enzyme inhibitors because we don't want them to inhibit our enzymes. We want to be able to digest and tolerate the nut milk. So rinse off that water. Do not drink that water. Rinse it off into the sink. Rinse your nuts in like a colander or a sieve, something like that. Okay? Really good. I love soaked almonds. They're soft. Also, if you are eating almonds like this, you also want to do the same thing. You want to soak them, and then if you have a dehydrator, you can dehydrate them and bring them back to their hard, crunchy nature. The dehydration is just going to lift off that water and evaporate that water. Okay? Yummy. Okay. So easy, guys. Come on. Gotta do it at home. Make your own stuff, guys. Start making your own whole foods at home. No reason to buy crap and buy junk. Do it yourself. 1 cup of almonds. Raw, soaked almonds. Soaked in beautiful Berkey water filtration system. I have my Berkey water filtration system over there. Beautiful quality water. Now I'm going to add that in to my blender. So in total, I have about 4 cups of volume here because it's about 3 cups of water. So again, 3 to 4 cups of water, whatever you want really. It's whatever thickness you desire. And then 1 cup of almonds. We'll put that down here. Looks better. All right. I like to make mine a little sweet. So I'm going to add 2 medjool dates. You guys like these dates? They're like the best dates ever. They're the only dates worth buying because they're nice and thick and succulent and delicious. So they often have a pit. Oh my God, this one has a baby pit. How cute is that? Hello, baby. All right, so there's 1. And they're nice and meaty. They're so delish. So 2 medjool dates. I have this awesome, I love vanilla. I'm like obsessed with the smell of vanilla. So I have the actual vanilla pods here. You can use a vanilla extract. Make sure to buy the real one, not the artificial one. I have a store near my house where I can actually bring my little bottles and refill my little bottles with this entire jug of like vanilla extract. It's so cool. So they have the artificial one and then they have the natural one. So you want to use the natural one. If you ever want to make your own vanilla extract, which is even cooler, you can actually buy the vanilla pods like this and then put them in a little jar with brandy. So you want to sort of let the alcohol extract the essence of vanilla. So I'm just ripping it off here. I'm going to put a little bit of my vanilla pod in there and some sea salt. So please guys, don't be using any old table salt. You want to use a really high quality mineral Celtic sea salt. And this is exactly that. You see that the salt is not dry and like easy to pour, you know? It's different. It's like more uncomfortable. Like everything healthy, it's a bit more uncomfortable, but it's worth the discomfort. So this is really like, it's still like moist or wet, okay? And it has like a gray color. And this is because it doesn't go through any chemical processing and it's just gray. When it's gray or pink, you know, the Himalayan sea salt, you'll see that it still has all the minerals in it intact. So that's what you want to be using. So just a pinch of sea salt. Salt helps to really bring all flavors together. And that's it. So my blender top is somewhere over here or over here. Okay. Still with me, guys? A couple of you tuned in. All right. So you want to put your top on. It's good to have a good blender for this nut milk creation because you really want to pulverize everything, including the skins as much as possible. You want to have like an even consistency. So I'm putting on my blender. Here we go. Ready, guys? I'm just going to put it on full blast right away. Tuning in from what machine here, from I have my phone going and then my computer going. Okay, so there we go. We have our beautifully blended almond milk. Now, what you want to do in this situation is actually almonds in particular. Okay, you want to strain out the pulp. So what you need to get is get yourself one of these guys. This is called a nut milk sack, okay? So it's a fine mesh sack. You can use cheesecloth or just buy yourself one of these. It's really convenient because it has the elastic on top. You can get them online. You can get them at your local health food store often. And what you want to do is, I'll just use this first. We'll see how that goes. But you want to strain your nut milk through the nut milk sack. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so you get yourself like a big container. This is probably not going to work. I'll probably have to do it in shifts. And you want to sort of put your nut milk sack around with the elastic around the container. And then you just want to pour your nut milk through. Can everyone see what I'm doing here? Through here. So you're just going to pour it in, and it's going to start to, the liquid will start to empty out, and the pulp will stay behind. So I am going to need my big mixing bowl here. See this bowl over here, guys? This bowl actually makes me want to eat more salad. I know that's weird, but you know these little kitchen tricks? Sometimes you have these little things in your kitchen that you just absolutely love, and they make you want to eat healthier. So if as weird as that is, like if that is the situation, go out and get yourself a weird big-ass bowl and make yourself a big-ass salad, because why not? That's from IKEA. Okay, everyone has IKEA in their city, right? Okay, so here we go. Oh, messy, messy. So there we go. So you see that some of the nut milk has already gone into there. And what you want to do is milk your cow, okay? So you just want to kind of get your hands in there. It's actually pretty fun, a bit messy, but so yummy. Now I teach raw food and live food cooking classes, and it's amazing. When I make this nut milk, people are actually shocked. They actually can't believe that almond milk actually tastes this way, because they're used to the store-bought kind, and the taste and the flavor are completely different. So that's it. You just want to squeeze out your nuts. And then you have this awesome pulp left over. Now I suggest not throwing out this pulp. If you know you're going to be making some muffins, for example, so this is your almond flour, you can actually put this on dehydrator sheets and dehydrate it and have like a dry flour. Otherwise you can just put it in moist, no problem. And you're going to be taking out as much moisture as you can, actually, as much liquid as you can. So this is getting a little bit messy, but I'm going to pour this in here. So here's my beautiful strained out nut milk. No pulp left. Okay? And then here I go again. So you can make muffins with the leftover pulp. You can make like, if it's not sweet, you can make like a veggie pate and use it as a binder or thickener. What else can you do with it? With the almond meal, you can make a face mask and like scrub off the dead skin from your face with the pulp. And find creative ways to reuse it, because it's a shame to throw out all this nice nut pulp. And almond flour is awesome for baking and for making muffins and cookies and stuff. And it's not cheap, so if you can reuse this stuff. Another thing I do, if I know that I'm not going to be using it right away, is that I'll just stick it in the freezer. And then I have it for whenever I need it. So squeezing it out, squeezing out all the liquid. So you can actually make nut milk or seed milk from anything. You can use sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. For my class that I teach, we make like a Brazil nut milk. You can make a macadamia nut milk. You can make a flaxseed milk, a hemp seed milk. Hemp is really easy, cashew is really easy. I wanted to show you sort of the easy version and the little more involved version. So there we go. So you want to make sure you have like a dry nut pulp. So I'm just going to show you what the nut pulp looks like in here. It's just dry like almond meal. Sticky. It's like you can make energy balls with this too. You can add a little bit more dates. Sweeten it up maybe with a little bit of honey, add some seeds to it, whatever you want, and you can make these awesome energy balls. So there's my nut milk sack. Really handy to have one around. And there's my beautiful almond milk. Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit? All right, I'll just put the rest in here. So there we go. Homemade almond milk, took like 2 seconds. will store in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days, maybe even 5. All right. So next we are going to be making a cashew milk with my raw cashews. So you guys will hang on for me 1 second. I just have to wash this blender. You guys waiting for me? Oh, cheers. All right, back. So cashew milk, honestly guys, it's even easier to make cashew milk. So what I want to do is just fill up my blender. This blender is cool because it has the actual amount of volume, liquid volume in milliliters, but it also has the amount in cups. Yes, so the cups are over here. So I'm going to fill up with 4 cups of water. Okay, here we go. So I'm at my Berkey water filtration system. I know I'm not there, but I'll speak anyway. You guys want to make sure that you're drinking filtered water. Try not to drink tap water because of all the chemicals, contaminants, the runoff, the medication runoff, the pus, the cysts, all kinds of weird things are in our drinking water. The fluoride, the chlorine, obviously the obvious ones. But you want to make sure that you do get a high quality water filtration system. If possible, there are ones that attach to your sink. If you want to start with, let's say, you know, Brita, better than nothing. But start with that and then work your way up. Water is so important. We invested in our water filtration system when I was pregnant with my first child because, you know, we wanted to drink clean water. And we drink so much, I mean, we're 80% water, so it actually is worth the investment. So this is our cashew milk. What's amazing about our cashew milk is that we don't have to do that extra step of filtering out and straining. So here I have 1 cup of raw cashews. Again, unroasted, unsalted, no flavors, nothing, just the raw cashews. And I soaked these 1 cup in some water, just enough water to cover the nuts, in my fridge overnight. Then again, because of those enzyme inhibitors, I've rinsed off the water. I've filtered, I've sort of run them through a sieve, and then I'm left with 1 cup of cashews. And they're very soft. Like, I wish you guys could feel this, but they're like super soft and mushy because of the soaking process. So again, 1 cup of cashews, raw cashews, whatever you like, 3 to 4 cups of water, doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make this one, since we're actually going to drink this one around here, I want to make it to my liking. So 2 medjool dates. Again, these nice, thick, meaty medjool dates, beautiful dates. Okay, full of minerals. Dates are super, super nourishing, and they have many minerals in them. So if you want to get a date, you eat 3 dates a day. That's the secret. That's the joke. All right. So again, my vanilla bean pod, so good. I just popped that whole thing in there. And then again, another pinch of sea salt. So again, my gray Celtic sea salt, a little bit of sea salt in there to bring all the flavors together, to mineralize my nut milk. And then again, I'm going to pop the top on and blend it at high speed. Here we go. There we go. It's really pulverized everything because of the motor in this machine is like super powerful. So here we go. Here's my beautiful cashew milk. So I don't need to strain out any pulp. And the same thing goes for hemp seed milk. If you're making hemp milk, you don't need to do that extra step with the nut milk bag. So look at how beautiful and creamy and delicious that looks. I hope you can see this pouring out, how beautiful it is. And I love these glass containers. This is an old glass container from some goat milk, some organic goat milk that I used to feed my daughter when she was a baby. But she doesn't drink milk anymore. We just drink our homemade nut milks. Cashew milk, almond milk, usually those 2. And there we go, guys. There's your beautiful nut milk. Keep it in the fridge. Put it in your oatmeal, in your coffee, if you drink coffee, whatever you're using regular milk for is, you can substitute it with this beautiful homemade nut milk. Also as a base for your smoothies, delicious. So here we go, guys. Look how beautiful. So good. Homemade nut milk. How long did that take, guys? Literally like maybe 10 minutes. You just have to remember to soak your nuts overnight in the fridge. And that's it. And then you're ready to go. Blend them up. And then you have like a week's worth of nut milk. So does anybody have any questions? Let me just have a look. Any health related questions? Any questions on making your own nut milk, seed milk? Anything, guys? I'll just give it a couple minutes before I turn off the live broadcast here. But if anyone has any questions. So again, if you're just tuning in at this point right now, the reason we are making our own nut milk is because we want to have an alternative to store-bought conventional factory farmed dairy milk because of the hormones, the antibiotics, the intolerances, the phlegm production, all of that stuff. And again, the nut milks contain high amounts of protein, healthy fats, fiber if you're not straining out all the fiber, calcium, the minerals and everything from the nuts. Okay guys, I don't see any questions, so I think I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make your own nut milks. If you guys have specific videos that you want me to make, this is my passion. I love teaching. I love food. I love getting on and teaching healthy alternatives, healthy recipes for conventional foods. And join me over, if you're not already a member, at thehealthquickiecommunity.com. If you have any personal health questions, anything that's bothering you, any complaints that are getting in the way of you thriving, living your life to the max, go in there and ask. There's a community of people. I'm in there all the time, and I'm going to help you get better with all of the tips and tricks and knowledge that I have in naturopathic medicine. There is a way to heal, guys, from almost any situation. I know that sounds like very, high and almighty, but it's true, guys. I know I work with clients one-on-one, and we're able to reverse conditions pretty quickly and get rid of symptoms that people have been suffering from for long periods of time. So if you have any questions, it is a closed community. It's a private group, so anything that you post in there will not be seen by anyone in your feed, your mother, your sister, your brother, anything like that. It's private. It stays private, so it's only within the community. Okay, guys, join me there, and thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this, if you want some of your loved ones to know how to make raw nut milks, then share this video with them and allow them to see the beauty and the bounty of nature and what you could do with it. All right? Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later. Okay, how does this thing go? End broadcast. Woo! And then we're going to end here as well. Bye, guys.